The story begins with a strange sight in the sky. A blinding light streaks across the atmosphere and comes crashing down onto Earth. Scientists rush to the spot, and when they reach the icy mountains, they discover something unusual frozen inside the ice. It's a glowing stone, unlike anything they've ever seen before. They name it Spark. One of the scientists decides to take Spark back to his lab, fully aware of how dangerous it could be. He explains that Spark contains unimaginable power, and if it were to fall into the wrong hands, that person could destroy the entire world. But the very next day, tragedy strikes. News spreads that the scientist has been found dead, and Spark is missing from his lab. The scene shifts, and we meet a man named Dev. He is revealed to be the one who murdered the scientist in order to steal Spark. Dev is ambitious, greedy, and willing to cross any line for power. Inside his laboratory, Dev and his team are working on a massive machine designed to drill deep into the earth and extract pure energy. Dev knows that with Spark attached to the machine, its power will multiply beyond measure. When Dev plugs Spark into the system, the machine goes wild. Its radiation output increases dramatically, digging deeper into the ground than ever before. But this reckless use of Spark unleashes something dangerous: Nova gas. It's a highly toxic substance trapped beneath the Earth's crust. The gas begins to leak out, sparking fires and chaos all around. Dev, however, manages to escape with Spark in his possession, leaving destruction behind. From here, the story takes us to a quiet village at night. A crowd has gathered because a baby elephant has accidentally fallen into a pit. Everyone is worried, but one man steps forward. His name is Aush. Brave and compassionate, Aush manages to rescue the frightened animal. Right away, it's clear that Aush is someone who deeply cares for nature and animals. He simply cannot bear to see any living creature suffer. That same evening, the village kids are attending a small class under the stars. A young woman named Avantika is teaching them about outer space. Aush sees her and is instantly captivated. For him, it's love at first sight. The next morning, Aush is hard at work on his farmland, but he faces a big problem. His crops have been completely destroyed by insects. Other farmers tell him that he should start using chemical pesticides like everyone else. But Aush refuses. He believes in natural farming, even if it means facing more challenges. His stubborn dedication worries his mother, who doesn't approve of his methods. Things come to a head when Aush's mother secretly sells their tractor. She explains that she borrowed money for Aush's education and now expects him to go to the city instead of wasting time on natural farming. At first, Aush resists, but his mother's emotional plea softens him. Finally, he agrees to leave for the city, even though his heart belongs to the land. Meanwhile, Dev is busy meeting with investors. He presents Spark to them, claiming it can generate endless energy and shape the future. But one sharp investor warns him that this much power is dangerous. He says Spark could lead to the destruction of Earth, so he refuses to fund Dev's project and walks away. Dev doesn't flinch. He introduces a new creation, an advanced robot he claims will replace human workers and eliminate the risk of casualties. It's clear that Dev is willing to gamble with the planet's future for his own profit. Back in the city, Aush faces his own troubles. Not long after arriving, he gets chased by a group of local thugs. While running for his life, he crashes straight into a team of people. At first, they're furious, because Aush has accidentally ruined one of their big jobs. It turns out they're professional party planners who specialize in organizing surprise events. They claim Aush has cost them millions in damages and tell him he now owes them. With no money and in desperate need of work, Aush reluctantly agrees to join their team. Soon after, their leader gets a call from a client who wants to surprise his girlfriend for her birthday. The team goes to decorate her house late at night, with Aush tagging along. But while helping, Aush notices something shocking. On the wall, he sees a photo of Avantika. His heart sinks. She's the same girl he fell in love with back in the village. Moments later, disaster strikes. The client calls again, furious that they decorated the wrong house. They were supposed to surprise his girlfriend, but instead they decorated Avantika's place. At first, Aush is relieved, realizing Avantika is still single, but when Avantika walks into her room and sees the strange decorations, she panics and calls for the security guard. Far away, something much bigger is unfolding. A UFO lands on Earth, and out steps an alien. His name is Tattoo. Tattoo has come from across the galaxy with one goal: to find Spark. Using his advanced technology, Tattoo tracks Spark's location directly to Dev's laboratory. But Dev is already prepared. The moment Tattoo steps inside, he triggers a hidden trap that locks the alien in place. When Dev touches him, Tattoo immediately senses his dark intentions. He refuses to let go of Dev's hand, but Dev's men release toxic gas into the chamber to weaken him. Just when it looks like Tattoo might be captured, he unleashes his energy, breaking free and knocking everyone unconscious. He grabs Spark and escapes. Dev's assistant, Nandini, chases after him and manages to shoot him, forcing him to drop Spark. She fails to capture him but discovers his UFO, which she seizes for herself. The next morning, Tattoo regains consciousness, only to find himself in a crowded exhibition hall. By chance, Avantika is also there, and following her is Aush. At the event, Aush playfully chats with a kid dressed in an alien costume, not realizing the real alien is nearby. When he approaches Avantika, he nervously tells her that he's the same guy she met back in her village. But suddenly, a gas explosion rocks the exhibition, sending fire through the building. Panic spreads as children scream and run for safety. Tattoo, despite being weak, uses his alien powers to protect the kids, but in the process, he gets trapped in the flames. Aush rushes in bravely and manages to rescue him. Believing Tattoo to be just another boy in a costume, Aush carries him toward the hospital. But along the way, Tattoo wakes up and calmly tells Aush the truth. He's an alien. Shocked, Aush drops him in panic and runs away. At the same time, Dev suffers the side effects of his reckless experiments. His arm has been left paralyzed, but even then he refuses to stop. Tattoo later follows Aush back home, determined to convince him. Aush tells everyone in the village that he met an alien, but nobody takes him seriously. Then, right in front of their eyes, Tattoo appears, proving Aush was telling the truth all along. This changes everything. Avantika also visits Aush to thank him for saving so many children from the fire at the exhibition. Tattoo notices the way Aush looks at Avantika and immediately understands his feeling. Wanting to help his new friend, Tattoo uses his alien skills and tricks to make Aush look more impressive in Avantika's eyes. Slowly, Aush gains her attention, and this makes him extremely happy. Tattoo officially becomes part of their little group. The three of them share a lot of fun moments together, laughing, exploring, and enjoying each other's company. Yet, deep down, Tattoo sometimes grows quiet, because he misses his home far away in the stars. Meanwhile, Dev is still obsessed with catching Tattoo and exploiting Spark's power. He reaches out to a man named Dr. William, an expert in alien life. Dr. William knows all about how extraterrestrials operate, and he designs special drones capable of detecting them. He releases these drones across the city, planning to track down Tattoo. Back with our heroes, Avantika takes Aush and Tattoo to visit a little girl who has cancer. Doctors had already given up hope, believing she had very little chance of surviving. But Tattoo gently places his hands on her, using his alien energy to heal her. Miraculously, the girl's cancer disappears. Everyone is overwhelmed with joy. In that same house, Tattoo spots something glowing in a corner. It's Spark. The girl had found it lying outside and kept it, not knowing what it was. Tattoo quietly picks it up. Their happiness doesn't last long. Suddenly, the drones swarm into the area and quickly detect Tattoo's presence. Realizing danger is close, Aush, Avantika, and Tattoo make a run for it. On the way, Aush tries to explain everything to Avantika, that Tattoo is truly an alien and Spark is no ordinary stone. At first, Avantika doesn't believe him, but once she sees Tattoo reveal his real self, she finally accepts the truth. Tattoo then explains why he came to Earth. Spark is a powerful cosmic stone, and if misused, it has the potential to destroy the entire planet. His mission is to recover it and take it away before it's too late. Meanwhile, Dev and his associate Dector are preparing their trap. Dector warns Dev that Tattoo will eventually come searching for his UFO, and when that happens, they'll be ready to capture him. Soon after, Dev and his men launch a direct attack on Tattoo. But Tattoo fights fiercely, using his powers to fend them off. Aush sees Tattoo battling alone and rushes in to help, throwing punches and holding his own against Dev's goons. Together, they put up a strong fight. Tattoo finally heads toward his UFO, but just before he can leave, Nandini ambushes Aush and slashes at him with a knife. Aush collapses, badly hurt. Tattoo looks back, torn between saving himself or his friend. He chooses Aush. Running back, he places his hand over Ayush's wounds and transfers some of his alien power into him. Ayush's injuries begin to heal instantly. But during this moment, Nandini strikes. She freezes Tattoo with her weapon and drags him away. Now Tattoo is a prisoner again, locked in Dev's lab and tortured with cruel experiments. His screams echo, but no one is there to help him. On the other side, Aush wakes up and realizes something astonishing. He now possesses part of Tattoo's powers. His wounds heal on their own, his body feels stronger, and he even begins to use the energy to help people in need. For a while, Ayush believes Tattoo must have left Earth and returned home, but Dev hasn't stopped. He takes Tattoo's DNA and injects it into his own body. The experiment succeeds, and Dev gains the same powers as Tattoo. In fact, he becomes even stronger. Dev then easily defeats Tattoo, showing off his new strength. Meanwhile, Dector receives a signal that another alien presence has been detected on Earth. What he doesn't realize is that the signal actually comes from Ayush, whose new powers make him appear alien to the system. Ayush and Avantika also stumble across one of Tattoo's devices, the same one he used to send messages. They find it lying in the spot where Ayush and Tattoo fought the goons earlier. Avantika continues her work teaching children at the planetarium, but danger follows them everywhere. Dev's men track Ayush down and launch another attack. This time, Ayush fights back with his new abilities, overpowering all of them. But just when it seems he's safe, Dev himself shows up. Seeing Dev, Ayush realizes that Tattoo is still in his hand. The two clash in a brutal fight. Dev's enhanced powers overwhelm Ayush and he's thrown to the ground. Suddenly, the spark stone slips out of the device nearby. Ayush reaches for it, but before he can grab it, Nandini freezes both him and Avantika in place. Dev takes Spark and walks away with it. Meanwhile, Tattoo manages to reach out to Dector and shows him a vision of the future. In it, Spark doesn't save the planet. It destroys it. Tattoo reveals that his entire mission was to prevent this disaster, not cause it. Horrified, Dector finally understands the truth. Ayush, however, refuses to give up. He tells Avantika that no matter what, he must save Tattoo, because only Tattoo knows how to stop Dev. Without him, the entire Earth will fall. Dector then attempts to free Tattoo from his prison. He manages to break open the trap, but before they can escape, Nandini arrives. She overpowers them and prepares to take both Dector and Tattoo back to Dev. At the last moment, Dector uses a drone to send a desperate message to Ayush. He is the only one who can save Tattoo, and time is running out. Already, Spark is causing deadly nova gas to spread above the Earth, triggering massive fires and destroying innocent lives. Ayush wastes no time. He storms Dev's facility, battling his way through the guards until he finally reaches Tattoo. He breaks him free, but just as they escape, Nandini raises her gun to shoot Ayush. Out of nowhere, Avantika speeds in with a car and rams into Nandini, blasting her away in a fiery explosion. At last, Ayush and Avantika rescue Tattoo and bring him to safety. But their troubles aren't over. Tattoo is still weak. The experiments drained his energy, and his powers are fading. They need to reach his UFO, but it's locked inside a heavily guarded building. Thinking fast, Ayush comes up with a crazy idea. They'll use a giant hot air balloon to fly in from above. Tattoo and Ayush climb aboard and float toward the building. When they land, Nandini is waiting with a powerful robot, ready to destroy them. A fierce battle begins. Just when it looks hopeless, Tattoo manages to reconnect with his ship. The UFO restores his powers, and together, he and Ayush defeat Nandini once and for all. Now fully recharged, Tattoo and Ayush set their sights on Dev. But Dev's machine has already grown unstable. Fueled by Spark, it's releasing waves of deadly nova gas across the land, killing people everywhere. They rush to stop him. The final showdown begins. Dev is more powerful than ever, and at first, he easily beats both Tattoo and Ayush. But then, fighting side by side, Ayush and Tattoo combine their strength. Blow after blow, they weaken Dev, until finally he falls. Tattoo rips Spark out of the machine, stopping its destructive power. But by then, the lab is overloaded with radiation and fire. The whole place is about to explode. Ayush and Tattoo barely manage to escape before the massive blast consumes everything inside, including Dev, who perishes in the flames. At last, peace returns. The sky's clear, the deadly gas fades, and Earth is safe once again. But the victory is bittersweet. Tattoo tells Ayush and Avantika that it's time for him to go home. Ayush, heartbroken, hugs his alien friend tightly. Everyone gathers to bid him farewell as Tattoo boards his UFO. With a final wave, Tattoo takes off into the sky, returning to his distant world. And with that, the movie comes to an emotional close. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing movie breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.